Welcome to another exciting episode of Double D's Let's Talk About It, the sports podcast where we touch on all the topics. And right now, it is combine time. I'm here. I'm your host. We are your hosts, Damien and D. What's going on, D? How you doing this morning?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. Just as we were talking earlier, I see we have our guest here. We're gonna go on and bring him in. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, James?
Hungry.
Hungry, man. Well, man, we really appreciate you tapping in with us for this segment on the combine, man. We know you're strapped for time, so we won't want to waste any of it. But I would like to allow you to introduce yourself to our viewers and audience. Just introduce yourself a little bit about yourself, your background, what you do.
Big Game James underscore 36 on Twitter. Played fullback at Florida State. Played with New Orleans. I do. I'm a serial. I don't know what I do actually. I travel. I talk shit about sports, and people listen to me for whatever reason. So right now I'm currently in Indianapolis, the NFL Combine, covering everything that we want to, but mainly I think when you have situations where there's 12 guys school, one of the places that you cover, you need to go and give them a significant amount of energy because that doesn't happen often. Especially 12 guys that all have serious draftable positions. Michigan has 18, but let's be for real, 18 of those guys aren't going anywhere. But Florida State had 12 guys, and all the way down to the lowest guy, which there's no disrespect to him, it's just injuries. I would say Fabo would be probably the lowest guy on that totem pole as far as draft picks go. But even he still has a chance. And you can realistically see him having his name called on day 3, if nothing else, being in somewhere.
Okay.
All right, well, what's going on, James, man? My name's D. We know you kind of pressed for time, so we're gonna just get right into the questions. We both got a few questions for you. Um, Based off what you saw yesterday, who, in your opinion, outside of the obvious, you can hit your Florida State guys if you want. Who, in your opinion, won day one of the combine?
You said outside of Florida State guys or Florida State guys?
No, if you want to give us the Florida State guys, that's fine. I was just saying outside of the obvious, anything that we saw past the field drills. Anybody who won, anybody who the scouts are up there really buzzing about.
Well, when it comes to linebackers, Peyton, the linebacker from NC State, did a very, very good job running that 40 time and doing some things, played unreal. I would say Kalen DeLoach, with the weight that he came in at 210, people thought he was going to be a little bit lower than that. He only needs to be about 218, 220. So, I mean, if he can get to 215 by pro day, he doesn't need to run another 40 because it's not unrealistic to still maintain that speed with 5 more pounds of muscle. So he'll be fine. And Jerry Verse made his money, but really Braden Fisk was the darling of the last 2 days. His interviews were great. His testing was well. There are some things that would give some people minor concerns. His hands aren't the biggest. I mean, the funny thing about all of this is it's all relative. Um, you know, I shake hands with people whose hands are bigger than mine that make me feel small. But then I shake a normal person's hands, and I remember my hands are 10.1 or 10, or was it 10 and 1? Braden's was like 9.3 or something like that. His arms aren't the longest, but you see enough film of him being explosive. His 10-yard was crazy. 40-yard was crazy. Short shuttle was on par with, was faster than Aaron Donald's when he did it. Just the comparisons and the comps are going to be great for him, especially if he gets put in a good situation. Outside of that, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers, and I always say his name wrong, but I don't care. You know who I'm talking about, McConkey, or whatever his name is. White boy, the fast ass white boy from Georgia. That's a good pilgrim from Georgia. Those guys had rock star type of celebrations around their podiums, but um, we'll see what they do. Bowers today, McConkey tomorrow. We'll see what those guys are able to produce on the drills and the testing. But it's really about. It's kind of like what's crazy is the star you used to or that you heard about where the stars showed up. There was no oh the defensive end for Penn State.
Chop
Chop,
Robinson.
chop.
Mhm.
Chop is going to Chop about to steal money. I hope he's good. I hope he's good. And it's going to be the Jaguars. If he may fall to 17, and the Jaguars just love him because he's fast and no production, but he has all the measurables. Which again, that's what the Underwear Olympics is about. The exciting part about it is we we don't look. We're supposed to look at these times and these measurables, then go back and see if the film prove these
Validates it.
times and measurables, and then if they
Mhm.
don't, you ask questions to why doesn't it? Was the person hurt? Was it the work ethic? Are they working harder now than they did when they were in college? What does that say to this person's character? It's a lot of different things that go into all of this stuff, but at the end of the day, film the eye in the sky don't lie, which is why I love Marvin Harrison and him standing on business, him and his family,
Mhm.
even though they're up here doing medical and interviews.
Mhm. Okay, James, I got a question. If we're going back to D'Lo, nephew, where would you see a good fit for him? Because of the combine measurables, it was some questions about him playing at 210 in today's NFL. Me personally, I think it can fit. I've seen it done. The perfect example is maybe a Keanu Neal in a dime or big nickel kind of package situation. But what is your opinion of what would be a good fit for him or system fit?
What's weird about that is I think what happens is we all get into this situation where it's something that we kind of Mandela effect, if you will.
Hmm.
It's something that we know to be true that we don't know to be true. But
Hmm.
we've said it so many times that we feel like it has to be right, right?
Hmm.
Gino. Gino was 200 pounds with his pads on.
Hmm.
Gino knocked your dick in the dirt.
Hmm.
Gino was a lower pick, but Gino was a guy who played in the NFL a while until he had some health related issues that took him out of that. Lawrence Simmons, while tall, Lawrence Simmons was a guy 230, but he's at 6'3", longer and lanky, 6'3", 230, as sturdy as 5'11", 220.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think a lot of times we get into these things and we make up in our mind. But there's some things that Kalen brought up that were very true. You got Derek Brooks. You got I just thought I brought up Gino. You got Telvin. You got a
Hmm.
lot of guys that have come out of Florida State that have a mindset that are heat seeking. Buster Davis, yes. You got a lot of guys that can fit. Dallas Cowboys system fit. Jaguar system fit. Steelers can fit them. It's all about finding a role and can you get to the target before the target gets a chance to get running. And in today's
Hmm.
passing game, me, Ernie Sims, and Martin Mayhew, hate the name drop, but a lot of football knowledge was being shared last night. We were having this discussion about. We were actually talking about the fullback and why it needs and how it could come back into the game and change it. More teams were adopting it because there aren't 6'4", 260-pound linebackers coming
Hmm.
downhill on you in the ISO. It's an anarchic mindset that people keep trying to regurgitate because football ain't played the same way it was even played 5-6 years ago. To be honest with you, I don't want to sit if you a 6'4", 260 guys ain't getting drafted at Mike linebacker. They're getting drafted at outside linebacker or defensive end in today's game. So having Kalen be there is a perfect fit for as the game is becoming more spread out, more passing, more power oriented. A guy that can come downhill, hit, but a guy who can also cover routes.
Excellent.
So my question is maybe if it was different than what it looked like on TV, but Trice, Braylon Trice out of Washington, was he hurt or what? He seemed to not look good at all in any of the drills or run. He just seemed tight. He didn't
No,
seem
he couldn't.
loose
He
or
ran like he had. You ever see somebody run like they got gum on their shoe?
yeah,
That's kind
yeah.
of what it looked like. That's kind of what it looked like. He couldn't get his foot. A lot of guys were slipping and sliding, but you can see it. You can see it even when guys are. What you want is you want a twitchy guy, right, in this league, when you're looking, especially when you're looking at drafting on that first day or that second day, you're looking for guys who, when they move, does it look explosive? Does it feel explosive? It's kind of the two, or it looks so smooth, it makes you question, is this person even working hard? Those are the things that you're looking for, and that's not what he offered. He could be a guy. He's a guy that you, if you're a team and you have a later pick and you want to be able to kick the tires on, you definitely take him. You take him because he has production. But the reality of the situation is the NFL. That's why it's crazy when people are like, "I go to this school so I can go to the NFL," which happens. But the NFL, but this is why you can go to Sisters of the Poor Catholic School for nuns by the Swanee River and get drafted in the fifth or sixth round because you have Twitch, and somebody just might have not looked at you. Heck, even a knock on Verse is very twitchy, but a bend. It's not as like he doesn't have that traditional bend that you want from your defensive end. I mean, there's going to be knocks on different people, but that guy I don't think made himself. I don't think. I think a couple probably should have stood on business. They didn't have Marvin Pearson's work, but like it would have. This might have hurt them more of trying to perform than if they weren't.
Okay, James, I'm gonna tap in. I'm gonna throw out two names. The first name is Mason Smith. I was interested
Okay.
because from what I saw from home, it looked like he still had some tentativeness with the injury that he suffered. And I mean, he looked well, but at that size, you got a guy that was projected to be a first round pick. From what you saw, if you saw anything on him, did he look like he's getting a little bit more comfortable coming back from that injury?
You can still see there's some remnants where he's trying to get over
Mhm.
some things, which
Uh,
is fine. You take like right now, you take a guy like him. He's a project guy, not a project. I hate to say it like that, but he's a projection guy. Excuse me. He's a
mhm,
guy that you know what he can do. It's does he has he been healthy enough to do it? And I think there's even what you saw in the drills today. There were some things that he did that I would be like, you know what? I wouldn't be mad if the Jags split the second or third round pick on
okay.
him. Since I covered
And
the Jags.
okay. I tapped in with your show a little bit. You touched on this next player I'm gonna ask, but no trolling. But Leonard Taylor. From what I saw
Yeah.
yesterday, he looked like he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, Leonard Taylor looks like a badass fat kid. Like the fat, like like no, and this is no side because I mean I'm excited to see what James Williams and Cam Kitchens can do today in the
Mhm,
on-field drills. But just looking at James Williams' form, the way he moved, it is literally called the Underwear Olympics for a reason.
mhm,
Um, One of the first things that you want to do is pass the eye test. When you come in here, you got guys like Braden Fisk passing the eye test. Guys like Jared Verse, which was a very impressive Jared Verse because he's 253, 255. But if you
mhm,
look at him, it doesn't look like it. That means
mhm,
a lot of muscle there. Also means we're going to go back to that 265, 270 pound range, which means you're going to be able to play defensive end. But it's
mhm,
chiseled. There's nothing about Taylor that looks chiseled. And as a guy who's going to have to play the interior or possibly a 3-4 defensive end, things like that, I just don't. I don't see this is not a league where very few like nowadays very few people can get away with being a BMW in the league, a body made wrong. You have to look the part. And he's not even like Vince Wilfork. Vince Wilfork was fat as hell, but Vince Wilfork had one ab, is what I used to tell people. That motherfucker was good. If you
mhm,
poke it, that one ab was hard. And everything just he looked like them old Vince Wilfork looked like them old black men that work mechanic shops or that like with them hands that can like they don't need to be able to
They don't need
unscrew. They can
tools.
just do it with
yeah.
they just do it with their hands. If you're gonna look bad, you gotta look like that. And that's not what Taylor looked like. And I'm just like, God bless, man. He's gonna be a great bouncer at a club one day. I think that's gonna be, you know, but this is a cool experience. Go expenses paid. Go to Indy. Get some gear. The gear is not what it used to be. I don't really know what. No bull is actually his gear. I prefer built or BYLT or Legends. Shout out to Legends and Marshawn Lynch and them giving me that sweatshirt at the Super Bowl. But no bulls on that same style of lane. I came up. It was what we had Under Armour. I think came up. So
Mhm,
it ain't like you getting a bunch of Under Armour, Nike, and all that other stuff. So, but it free gear. You got a trip. They eat decent. Like, and his agents are gonna pay. Somebody's gonna give him a chance, and then he'll be a substitute teacher, and
okay.
coaching football wherever he's from. Nothing
Oh
wrong with being
man,
a
that's
substitute
good.
teacher. We
Not
need more
wrong.
teachers in this world. We need more black male teachers.
We
I
support
support that.
teachers. Oh man. Well, I had one more player before you go, D. Muhammad Kamara from Colorado State.
Oh yeah.
I saw him against Colorado last year, and he really impressed. I thought he was going to go into the portal, and he ended up putting his name into the draft. What are your thoughts on him?
Personally, I would have loved to have seen them get one, go play on another level. Right.
Okay.
Go do what, like, actually, if you go listen to if the audio get uploaded on my part, but go listen to Jaheim Bell, go listen to some of these guys who had opportunities to leave, but said I needed another year. Keon Coleman, expressing
Hmm.
really, like, I was really impressed by Keon. Keon really shocked me, but Keon was like, I needed another year. I needed to be able, I could do it against boom, 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 this level of competition. It would have been cool, but he did some things in the drills that stood out. I also don't know his family situation. He did enough to go get paid. And the thing about the NFL is, if you're, I used to talk to my little bro DeMarcus Walker about this all the time, and I told him he should have left his junior year because there was nothing sexy about him. Like, you're not going to be a first round pick. It's just not in you. Like, it's not your fault. They draft 6'6", 250, 4'5", jumps 40 in. Those are the defensive end they draft. You're 6'2", 265. If you run sub 5 flat, we're going to be happy about that. You're just a guy that's going to work hard, and you're playing for the second contract in longevity in the league. And that's what this guy's going to do. He's going to be a second contract guy because he's going to outperform it. It's just, he went to Colorado State. They suck, and not just suck. They're on the West Coast, so they don't get the benefit of being in front of our eyes as much as everybody else. And that's what the NFL knows that. So they're going to take that guy, a player like that, on a discount, and somebody's going to look like a genius if he pans out.
Okay.
I know you got to get out of here, James. My last question is from a small school prospect, Jalix Hunt. What was the
Who?
buzz around him? Jalix Hunt out of Houston Christian. He's a former safety that they
I don't
moved
know.
to edge.
Jalen's Hunt, the Houston Christian.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Jalix
said
Hunt.
safety.
No, well,
Jalen's Hunt. I didn't
he
see.
went with the edge yesterday, but they said he
He
was
was
a
with the
former
end.
safety.
Hmm.
I was
I didn't. I didn't.
I,
Yeah, I think so.
You didn't get a chance to see him? Okay.
Yeah, we had Jared Verse. We didn't get a chance to see him. I didn't pay attention.
okay, okay.
Okay.
When we went to the drills yesterday, if I'm gonna tell you the guys I'm talking about,
Hmm.
and you take people take this what it's worth. They were good. Like, I paid attention as I
Hmm.
literally anybody who knows me who was up there on the radio side or the media side, or even I told D'Lo, I talked to D'Lo's agent who's a former Hurricane and everything like that. I said I'm not here to see anybody but Verse and Nephew. And I think we missed Fisk because we were at lunch. But I saw Fisk stuff through social media. But like when I saw
Hmm.
Peyton, when I saw some of these other guys, I knew Bethune wasn't performing. He was just doing the drills. I know he was gonna run the 40, do the vertical, all that stuff. So it was just more of a like yeah, he didn't that guy, I didn't get a chance to see that guy. Yeah, he did
Yeah,
good. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. If he's on the field, he had to pass his medical. Like, he got
Okay.
medical
So he did
DQ.
pass his mission. Okay.
So yeah. So that like when I came here, there was which again, I feel old as shit. It was not like this. Me and Ern talking about this. We were like, it was not like this when we came up, and I was like, it was not like this. This is way more of a theatrical show than when I put up when I came. But I saw a guy who they tested and he had a murmur. They noticed he had a heart murmur, and that was a real big thing. After 2000, detected people with different things in the heart, and he did some extra testing, and they medically DQ'd his whole career. He played football his whole life to find out to get to where close to his dream to taste it to find out that his dream was done.
Mm.
Because if you don't pass it here,
Yeah.
definitely check out James's interview with Jaheim Bell. It was a cool
Hmm.
moment where he was shouting out and talking about all the South Georgia guys.
Yeah,
Number of dogs come out of South Georgia.
yeah.
Miami's got guys and Texas has guys, but South
They
Georgia
got
is where you
dogs.
find the dogs at. So knowing that you're from Wisconsin, he's from around the way.
He's from the other school though.
Yeah, he's from yeah.
He went to
He's
he
from the
went to
other
he went to
school.
right outside.
Yeah, I went to Lowndes. I was on the back-to-back state championship team. So, but
Okay.
Valdosta still about that business, but it's just been a while since they've been about it when it come to us.
But all in all, man, Nose was represented, man. It was cool to see people come on. It's a
Hmm.
great experience. I tell anybody if you're, if whether you're covering FSU or if you're whether you're covering an NFL team or whatever it is, the combine is one of those things where you want to come to, you want to network. It's really more of a networking experience than it is actual traditional media experience because
Hmm.
the business really gets done outside of media row, like at night, the different events, parties, and venues
Hmm.
that you could go to. And that's why I always talk about if anybody listens to the media to Big Games Be, I talk about the all in package. That's I'm working. Like you don't want to come and do this. This is boring. But it's really from about 7 or 8 until whenever. And it's crazier now because this is only the second year that they've allowed open access to everybody to go watch the drills and participate in. Before we had media row, but we would watch. We can watch press, but we would have to watch everything else just like everyone else at home. And even now, like they just put our cameras up, so which is ironic. I don't understand this. Even with the Jags, it pisses me off. I can't live stream a Jags practice, right? Because I'm
Uh-huh.
media and they want to protect it. But I could go buy a ticket to go watch Jags practice. I can go sit up there and I can go live stream Jags practice like I'm media. But because I have a credential, I can't do it. But they can't stop the other people from doing it. So I say all that to say is they don't want us to have cameras because like even for me to get a better video to edit and then be able to put my own stuff up later. Like I
Hmm.
wanted to do, I had a cool idea to videotape because they're in the end zone is where most fans are watching. So I wanted to be able to videotape D'Lo running his 40 and doing the different drills. And I wanted to talk to Pop Deloach and Pop
Bethune.
what's my Bethune, Pop Bethune. You
Hmm.
couldn't bring cameras. You can't bring your cameras in there. I'm like, can I have my phone? Yeah, it's my phone. They're like, yeah, you can have my phone. Every fucking phone has a camera.
Right.
So like, what's the difference? Like, and what's wild is they do watch credential media, but like Pop Deloach could videotape Kalen running and upload it to social media and go viral, but I can't. And I just tell them, I was like, do y'all even try to flesh that thought process out when y'all were doing it? But I get it. They want everybody to watch NFL Network to be able
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get there. Even
Get everything.
though NFL.com will release the snippet of the running from the NFL Network, and everybody just retweets and posts that. But
Hmm.
common sense ain't common,
Yeah.
and logic is a
Well,
lost art.
I got one more question for you, and it's related to the Circle City. How y'all enjoying it? Have you had any time to get out?
I'm now tomorrow. Somebody hit me up at a barbershop. I'm gonna get my beard taped up because I feel
Hmm.
shit. My bad. I hate when that happens. My bad.
You
You know what
good?
happened? Like I just did a whole show without doing it. But I'm gonna get my beard taped because his brother said he's a brother. He came on Sporadics the other day and
Hmm.
he had that. So I'm gonna go hang out there because I don't think the drills and stuff start till like what until 1 tomorrow. So I actually get to
Okay.
sleep in. So I'll get up, go get my beard right, and go see some other stuff. Somebody brought up some burger joint. I may go try tomorrow. But
That's
really, you
that
don't.
was that was me.
That was
I was
you.
telling you about
Okay, yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Dan's. Mr. Dan's.
yeah.
Just make sure you go in the daytime and not at night, because you can't get
It's-
shot. So bring your thing with
I was in the hood.
you. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the Indianapolis is one of them weird places. Like I knew when Mike Epps had responded to Shannon that it was some realness in that
Oh yeah.
because like nobody ever comes and says, "Yo, I'm from Naptown, man." Like I'm from like you got from the Midwest. We know Cleveland. We had Bone
Hmm.
Thugs told us East 1999, and when you see the street East 1999, you realize, oh, okay, this is a real place right here. This is some real shit happening over here. You got, I mean, I know about Columbus because of my father, but I know more about Columbus because of Ohio State. So you don't really ever. We know about Gary because the Jacksons, and
Hmm.
and Zeke told us how run down it was when he was trying to get out. We know about
Hmm.
Chicago. We know
Hmm.
about a lot of places, but we just never hear about Naptown. But I'm not trying to find out about Naptown either. Like I don't want to be the reason that everybody finds out about this place. So I'm gonna
I tell
enjoy it
you,
and hang out.
Hallville was notorious. I used to live up there. I got a lot of family from up there. They still live there today. My grandmother used to live there
Now
before she passed.
downtown Indy is one of the most. This is one of
Oh yeah.
the. I love downtown Indy. It's very well for this weekend, but that was crazy. It's actually not bad today or yesterday. But when I
Mhm.
first got here, that wind was very disrespectful. And I'm glad I got I'm a newfound glasses guy. Had I not had glasses, I would have probably been crying the whole time because the wind just hits you right in the face. Also, I did not realize Florida is moist naturally in the air. So I could take I don't have lotion. My skin, I don't really get ashy like that.
Oh, you
Here,
ashy up there?
did not realize you gotta have some moisturizer, man. Cause like my skin and my forehead and all this stuff has been like it's chapped. It's not a comfortable feeling.
Yeah, you
So
about to have to
this
Vaseline
place
up,
is
brother.
not made for the black. Yeah, you got a
Lotion ain't
Vaseline.
gonna
I
do
got a
it.
Vaseline.
Lotion ain't gonna do it. You got to Vaseline up, brother.
But but, but Naptown, Indianapolis is great. Rob DeLuise went to Risk the other day, and I'm
Mhm.
like, you picked the worst steakhouse. That's like 10 steakhouses around here. You picked the absolute worst one. You should have went to St. Elmo's. We should have went to Prime. Prime
Mhm.
out. You got to go to Prime before 7 during Combine because it's a club. It's basically a club after that. So
Mhm.
side note, if you are there's some fine ass women that work in sports too. Like they're just it's just for those who are question. I'm not even talking about shout out to my homegirl Sheena. What's the little bit's name? Kyla. Shout out to Kyla. She works for Texas on social media. She's really good. I want to joke about her like I joke about Sheena for the rest of the time. I'm older now. I realize I feel weird about it. She's my daughter's age, so I can't even say that she's fine or pretty anymore. All I can say is she's absolutely adorable. That makes me feel better, and it gives me it
Less
clicks a
creepy.
different it puts her in a different box. So like
Yeah.
now I'm no longer like okay, oh she's just adorable. I can't mess. You can't mess with. You can't try to go smash somebody after you said that they're adorable. Like it's just it's a, it's a different mindset that you get into. But she's also
Oh, man.
long. All jokes aside, though, it's
Mhm.
like really good with a camera, dog. Like she's dope. I could have given her an NIL deal. That's what I was trying to figure out. But she's getting paid pretty good by Texas. So so now I'm shooting my
Oh.
NIL shot at Michaela Edenfield. See if she wants to get paid. Shout out to my dog Sheena. She crazy.
That's what's up. Well, we really appreciate you, James. We don't want to take no more of you or
Definitely,
Steve's
definitely.
time. We know y'all got a busy day coming. You want to try to get you something to eat, tap in, to do whatever y'all need to do to prepare for the rest of the day. I personally really thank both of you guys for just giving us the opportunity
Absolutely.
to interview. Steve, we still want to tap in with you if you're available. Also, again, James, even if you're available, man, I am a member. I'm a green too, so
Nah,
I'm not just the interview.
I
I'm a
work with
green.
colors now. I work with my colors, man.
I'm a colored. I'm a colored. And I just say, I want to personally say thank you because you don't know, I followed you since 1010, going back to 2020, and it was you. You made me laugh. You and Denny kind of helped me in a good spot when I was in a.
I stole their spot on Radio Row. I told them we I discovered this spot and I took it from 1010.
Yeah,
But nah.
but
But yeah,
yeah,
and
when I was
Denny's
in a
around
bad
here. So
spot,
that's the
man,
other
you
part.
helped out.
Denny's networking. He around here
Uh huh.
somewhere. I seen him for a little bit. It's crazy. It's again, it's hard for me to explain it to people because you just have to experience it. It's like a
Hmm.
real networking thing. And you'll see some it's like the Obama sketch with Key and Peele. where Obama like gives dap to all the black people, and
Oh.
the people he doesn't know shakes their hand. So
Shake
you
their hand.
see the handshake, right? You see that, hey, how you doing? I'm James Coleman, blah blah blah.
Uh,
And you'll see, yo, Denny, what up, bro? You'll see crazy stuff where sitting on the couch and they recognize them, and you'll see a guy jump over a couch, and then just to get close to them, like to surprise them. You'll see embrace like Ernie strong, dog. Ernie still work out.
mhm.
Ernie embraced the fuck out of me, dog. It's like it was crazy. I was like, and it was like a thing where we were in the middle of the JW, and I'm like, and Ernie's like, I'm like, Ernie James, man, what's up, dog? We over here talking and chopping it up, and you'll see some GM. You'll learn that GMs are interesting creatures.
Mhm.
They remember everything. You might not remember them, but they remember you. And but that a lot of that has to do with the mindset of coming to this is to network and to
Mhm.
meet people and to get jobs, to get insight, to get off the record type things. Oh, my bad. Was talking about insight on Keon and Johnny.
Mhm.
Was talking to a guy in the Colts organization about Keon and Johnny. Just they love Keon's the cockiness in which comes off is off-putting to some people is a true asset to him with some of with the stronger personality types. And what's crazy is like, and that's why I think there were some things that were said and some things that may or may not have happened when it came to that. But I think it was if we step back outside of the sensitivity phase, we'll look at it as one guy's young, and it was probably a misinterpretation of how we need to challenge talent as elite.
Mhm.
And what I'm at is when you have two alpha personalities, heads will butt. And I'm not going. My job is to, like I joke with my kid, I love my sons to death. My sons are two of my favorite people, and I am not my children's friend. I'm their father.
Right.
My job is to put them in a position to be successful, so that they don't have to lean on me forever, or actually to where they can essentially pour into the brand.
Mhm.
I built them up so that when I'm in the latter stages of my life, there's a legacy that is built for me to be able to maintain. So happens is people who have lesser personalities will just fold and allow people to get their way when they're to the alphas. But when you meet another alpha, you know how to coach another alpha, and there will be headbutt. And now this guy happens to be he would you pray if I'm Keon, I would pray to have failures, have my successes look like this guy's failures because he was
Mhm.
that good in the NFL. So
Mhm.
but
Mr.
it
Wayne.
was a good going back and forth with them.
Mhm.
So he understood it. We talked about that, and we explained some things, and he was very positive. Somebody coached him up very positive about his experiences at both Michigan State and at Florida State.
Mhm.
Um, so very positive about Norvell. It I can't stress enough. 12 interviews, 12 endorsements of Mike Norvell.
Mhm.
Like
One guy got.
like
We'll let y'all figure it out. One guy got emotions talking about Mike.
changed my life. I would not be who I am without him. I would not I and I heard some people some of them were some questions, of
Mhm.
course. But open-ended questions in environments like this allow people to be able to speak from able to explain them. The problem is a lot of people try to treat it like court. They want you to get to a yes or no answer. You ask an open, but just like a deposition, you ask open-ended questions so that you can try to either trap somebody because they are speaking from the heart, or you allow them to be able to speak their piece, and you can be able to see a lot of things from these guys. And it was I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like as a guy who when he first got to Florida State, I didn't care. I told people it's not my job to like or dislike Mike Norvell. I don't get paid to like or dislike him. I get paid to
Mhm.
cover Florida State. My coach is dead. Bobby Bowden's in the ground. They did 2 years almost. No, might be
3, I
3-1. Yeah,
believe.
might be three
Almost
years.
3. Yeah.
3 years. Crazy. But that was my coach. That's who my loyalty lies to. My
Mhm.
loyalty lies to the shield or to the brand, FSU.
Mhm.
But the more you're around, the more you hear about the interaction from the players. My son is the first who and typically can read this stuff way better than anybody else. But bigger than just him, Adam Fuller. If you don't like Adam Fuller at this point, you're just stuck in your ways. I heard every defensive player talk about how Adam Fuller put them in the best position. They talked about how great of a coach, how smart he was, and how much faith he had in those guys because of those are the pieces that he picked. Again, I've said before during the season, but smarter people listen to smarter. Whatever the fuck. People, the other people who cover this game, and that'll tell you some bullshit. That we run cover 7 or cover aqua or make up some new technology that don't nobody use. But you know what we run? We run man coverage with trail technique. That ain't from James Coleman. That's from the people who played with them. And again, people who play the game and speak for the game in a certain manner will tell you these things with common sense because there's common sense to it. But sometimes, people gotta always be right. But Adam Fuller runs man coverage. It just to let you know how. So, man coverage for those who don't know is man cat ball. I got you. You got me. We got we. You do your job. You do your job. I'm literally just here. And for us, before Georgia, to believe only gotten 4 passing touchdowns on an entire season in man coverage with a few blown coverages, I don't think people understand how impressive that is. Like the whole the easiest coverage to beat if you got cats, it's man. Man, crossing routes, all kinds of stuff. Delay release with the running back into the flat or on the wheel route. Like, we do this stuff to people all the time. Now I know why it was so easy to beat up on cats. We're playing against the best defense in the nation every year, which further lets me know we made a college football playoff. We might not have scored 30 points, but they wasn't scoring 30 points either if we had all 12 of these guys here. If you never were mad as a Florida State fan, and I've told people just calm down, don't be mad, it's over. I won't lie to you. I'm irate because these cats are showing their ass out here.
Yeah.
This Georgia reporter kept asking this question if you could play, and that was actually also telling those guys. Every one of those guys said, "Man, you know what? I'd be in 2020. If I could do it all over again, I would change it. I would there one more time because I didn't like the outcome. I didn't like seeing my brothers out there getting slaughtered. But also the Georgia, and this is another thing. The Georgia beat writer, when I broke it down to him like this, he's like, "Oh, I never even thought about that." He said, "Well, Georgia had everybody come back. Georgia's also a team that is built to win the championship in 2024. They weren't built to win the championship in 2023. They knew they had a good team. I'd argue they're the best team. They know next year is going to be their year. Everybody comes. A majority of their guys on defense and a lot of other weapons come back. They Florida State, this was weird. They got taken away from them, so I can understand that. Guys went and chased it, but what was done is I think that's crazy and what fans can use. The goal for almost, I think most of them said this because we didn't get a chance to ask everybody because some had more people than others. I asked a lot of questions, by the way, so I was a bully out there. I feel bad, kind of, but not really. The goal was to leave Florida State in a better position. They found Kalen came under tag. They went 3-6, 5-7, 10-3, 13-1. I think we can all say he accomplished his mission to leave Florida State in a better than what he found it. Same thing with Tatum. Said the same thing. Nardo said the same thing. I get a chance to hear Jerry's interview, but we have the sound and the audio from it. It's just when we saw Tag looking very.
All the money that he stole from us, but
He looks very. He's like a housework.
skin looks great.
Drinking water, alkaline water. He can afford it. Relax. He's on the most useless position coach on the football field is the running backs coach. You can either run or you can't. Tell them to run where they ain't. And you have Lamar Jackson as your quarterback. So like what are you doing?
Yeah.
But he was just cheesing, happy, incognito, doing this thing, man. Shout out to much respect to Tag. Shout out to Tag.
Well, that's
Tag a
what's
wild
up,
boy.
James. That's what's up, man. We really appreciate you guys.
Quick
We
thing,
thank
Damien.
both of
Most
y'all.
We
definitely.
appreciate y'all letting us on the show. But one thing, man, the only thing we ask is that we see you guys up here next year, posted up, running the
Oh
podcast, running the
yes,
show, here, radio rolling
That's the
from wherever we're
plan.
that's
at the
the
parking
plan.
lot. I think you guys
Wait a
will
minute,
really enjoy it.
it's in New Orleans next year, right?
Now that's a Super Bowl.
But
Okay,
I'm
so it is up
Combines
there.
will always be here in this cold ass place.
Okay. Oh, I'm coming home then. That's home
Yeah,
for me. My daddy live in Evansville, so I just came from in. That's my spot. So I'm at home if I go to Naptown. So yeah, we most definitely got to get up there next year. I might need to
that's
get that
definitely
all
the
in
plan.
membership too. That all in membership, you know, so I can get on that super green plan, that colored plan.
Yeah, man. But definitely, man. But appreciate you having me on. I'm about to go meet with
Yes, sir.
a GM
Mhm,
ask some questions that I can add some more context to people, and hopefully I can find some non-BAP Wi-Fi so I can upload. I got like 100 videos to upload, but we'll figure it out. It's there. The content's there. So I think we got one. Keon's first part of his interview is up. The second part is
mhm.
on the way. And we got Jared Burke. But I'm telling you, the other part, man, these boys, they got their accents where they from, but they
Mhm.
speak very well. I didn't want to be there because I hate when people say that to me, like, "Oh, you're very well spoken." That's what I'm supposed to sound like. But but our guys here that sound thank God for football. And NIL getting them out here because they sound like they're ready to rob somebody. But yeah, so all right, man.
But yes, appreciate y'all.
Most definitely. Y'all have
All
a
right,
good
brother.
one, man. Y'all stay safe.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
y'all.
Yep.
All right. Well, D, we tapped in with him. What you think, man? He is a lively guy. He has a lot of information. Him and Steve really work well together. We do need to plan, and we will
Yeah,
be
we gotta
planning
get
to
up
go
there.
to get up there.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I don't even know if we would have to even do a hotel, man, because I got a lot of cousins and aunties. But as we move on, I was able to shift from the initial question because he gave so much information on Peyton
So
Wilson
much.
that I didn't have to ask that question. That's why I just shifted and just asked some different questions. But the Jalix Hunt guy that you mentioned, I did see. He's a little lanky in his
Yeah.
build. He is lanky in his build, and you can tell where he was once a different position. But I see the
Hmm.
potential because it's similar to what Greg Rousseau. Because Greg
Yeah.
Rousseau, if you didn't know, when he came out of high school, when he went to Miami, he was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
He was a wide receiver, and it was a transition. So that I did see that particular prospect that you was talking about. But as we were discussing, man, what's some names you interested in today in seeing as we get into today's day two with the DBs?
You know, DBs is what I want to see. I want to see. Honestly, I want to see them all.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Abrams out of Missouri. I want to see what he. I want to see what he does. Has a potential to be a good slot corner. Was a good blitzer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Kyrie Jackson, former
Mm-hmm.
Bama corner at Oregon. Want to see what he runs. I want to see those bigger guys. I want to see T.J. Tampa, Cam Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Safeties. I want to see Bullock. I was watching watching NFL Network today, and they said that Nate Wiggins was timed as 4.27 in workout. So I want to see what he runs. I do want to see who separates themselves. You and I talked about Cooper DeJean, but we don't know
Mm-hmm.
if he's healthy enough to participate.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cam Kitchens. Who was my Quinion Mitchell,
Mm-hmm.
Josh Newton, and Kyler Newton. Those are the two that I really have my eye on. Newton,
Okay.
coming into the year, it was talked about as he could possibly be a first round corner. So I definitely want to see because his play kind of, especially against Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
that first game of the season. So
Yeah.
who you got your eye on?
First of all, being an FSU fan, I'm definitely looking at Ronaldo Green and Jarian Jones. They had two very high PFF grades, and as James had mentioned, Florida State before the Georgia game had only given up 4 passing touchdowns
Right.
the whole season. Outside of them, outside of being the homer, it's Mustafa from Wake Forest,
Mm.
and the other guy. I'm see if I can get his name right. Where was he? I was trying to find Jarvis Brownlee from Louisville was another one. Devonshire, MJ Devonshire from Pitt, just because Pitt tends to give some pretty solid safety and corner
Yeah,
play at times. You know, they send good prospects into the league. And it was one more outside. I can't remember his. Let's see his name. It wasn't Sam. Um, Not Tariq Smith. Lassiter from Georgia. I don't know if he's
yeah.
participating. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say he isn't, but I'm not sure if he is or not. But that's another name I'm interested in seeing, just because he did play in the bowl game in the Orange Bowl. He matched up against what would have been equivalent to Florida State's fourth string wide receiver, or fourth or fifth wide receiver on the depth chart. And he did get cooked a little bit, just a little bit. And then I know I saw some things with him in the Senior
Mhm.
Bowl, so I'm interested to see how he tests. Now his film overall is solid, you know. Of course, coming
Right.
from Georgia,
He'll
overall, but
probably be an eagle.
yeah. So exactly. I'm interested in seeing how he bounces back. And then another name, just to throw out there, is a name I just seem to like from Penn State, and it's Kalen King. It's another guy. I
Yeah.
know Porter was drafted from Pittsburgh last year, from out of Penn State. Penn State under Manny Diaz, they developed really good in the secondary. So he's another name, and I think those are the names that I have down. It was Kalen King, Malik Mustafa, Kwame Lassiter, Jaron Jones, and Ronaldo Green. Those are the 4 or 5 that I'm interested in seeing for today. Tight ends, I know tight ends run today too. Do you got any
Yeah.
tight ends that you're interested in?
I want to see
Hmm.
Jaheim Bell. I want to see. I don't know if Brock Bowers is participating in anything. I want to see what his 40 time is.
Yeah.
Um, Jatavian Sanders.
Hmm.
That's the one I feel like he wasn't really utilized up to
That's much.
what his potential is.
Hmm.
I feel like he can definitely come into the league and be a dominant tight end,
Hmm.
especially if he gets in the right system. He's able to move. He's got hands. He can block. Um, was it Eric All?
Yeah, Eric, all out
Iowa?
of Iowa.
Iowa?
Hmm.
Those are the main guys I want to see. Cade Stover out of Ohio State.
Okay.
He's definitely a playmaker, chain mover.
Okay. I'm pretty much the same there. I see an AJ Barner from Michigan, but Eric All, he started off at Michigan, then
Yeah,
transferred to Iowa. Um, that
Trey
is a
Knox.
name. Trey Knox, yeah, out
I
of South
forget about
Carolina.
Knox all the
I
time.
forgot
Yeah,
about Trey
so
Knox myself. Yeah, that's another name. And then the cat from Senat from Kansas State's another
Kansas
name
State.
to check out. Yeah, that's another one to check out too. That I'm interested in. But going forward, man, I'm looking forward. I think the show starts at about 3.
At
It
3.
start off at 3 o'clock today.
Mm-hmm.
We can go ahead and tap in with that. Well, that's going to conclude our show for today. We thank everyone. We thank our guest, Steve Bernard, James Coleman, for stepping in and dropping in, tapping in with us today to touch on a little bit of the combine. We really appreciate everything. D, you want to add something in, man? You close us off.
Absolutely, man. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, anything that you want us to talk about, anything that you guys feel that we can be better in. Let us know so we can keep growing.
And that will do it.
I
Peace
appreciate it.
out.
All right, y'all.